This conference will now be recorded.
Going to order the Board of Zoning Appeals regular meeting Monday, September 9th, 2024 at 5 p.m. Marie, can I have you call the roll, please?
Mr. Schlechter.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Levine.
Here.
Mr. Ossoff.
Here.
Ms. Coleman. Here.
All right. Did everyone up here have the opportunity to review the minutes from last month? Yeah. Any changes? Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion related to the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Marie, can I have you call the roll?
Mr. Schlechter.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Levine.
Yes.
Mr. Ossoff.
Yes.
Ms. Coleman. Yes.
Okay. Seeing as we have no old business, before we get to new business, if you think you're going to speak today, can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge? Okay. Thank you very much. With that, let's move on to our first and only piece of new business, a variance request for a side yard setback from 7 feet required to 1 foot provided for the property located at 6800 Shieldwood Road, parcel number 79-01581, Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution Section 700A. Daryl, you have the stack report, please?
Sure. The subject property at 6800 Shieldwood Road consists of a 0.21 acre lot on the north side of that road within the Kingswood residential subdivision. A two-story single-family dwelling constructed in 1984 and measuring 1,882 square feet is sited on the approximate center of the lot. The parcel is zoned R2 medium density residential. All abutting properties to the subject lot are occupied by single-family dwellings, also zoned R2 and in the Kingswood subdivision. Section 700A of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution dictates a minimum side yard setback of 7 feet for principal buildings in the R2 zone district. The existing dwelling is approximately 11 feet from the western property line. The 10-foot wide driveway extends approximately 8 feet from the front property line along this western boundary to beyond the rear of the dwelling. On July 29th of this year, the Sylvania Township Zoning Department received a complaint concerning an addition being constructed onto the subject dwelling. The zoning compliance officer investigated the complaint and found that a carport was being installed on the west side of the house and an attached canopy on the rear of the house. No permits had been obtained from the zoning department or the Lucas County Building Regulations Department. Further, the carport was being constructed nearly up to the west side property line. The property owner was made aware of the violations and directed to stop construction. Additionally, the zoning department contacted the building department and informed them of the situation. The building department promptly issued a stop work order to the property owner on August 2nd. Receiving an additional complaint that work was continuing at the site on August 7th, the compliance officer conducted a follow-up inspection and found the directives to stop work on the project had been ignored and there had been additional progress made on the carport and the rear canopy. The applicant submitted the subject request for a variance on August 1st. They are asking for a 6-foot variance on the side setback from the required 7 feet to 1 foot provided. In their letter of intent submitted with the application for variance, the applicant maintains that they were unaware that they were in violation and that they have a large family and have multiple cars that need to be parked off the street. The attached 2-car garage and a regular driveway accommodate at least 4 vehicles, and the later installed side driveway should accommodate approximately 4 more. The illegally constructed carport and canopy do not increase this parking capacity. The zoning department finds no hardship to warrant this variance request. Had the applicant applied for a zoning permit, they would have been advised of the setback requirements. Zoning staff recommends denial of the 6-foot variance request to the side yard setback requirement on an R2 medium density residential parcel from 7 feet required to 1 foot provided for the property at 6800 Shieldwood Road for the following 3 reasons. 1, staff finds no hardship, special circumstances, or exceptionalities to the property to warrant relief from strict application of the requirements of the zoning resolution. Two, the applicants would have been made aware of the setback requirements had they applied for zoning. Ignorance of permit requirements is not their consideration of a variance. And three, the carport can have a negative visual effect upon current and future neighboring property owners and residents of the west of the subject parcel.
Thank you, Daryl. My first question for you, Daryl, is have we received, or Marie as well, have received any correspondence, phone calls related to this matter? Yeah, I assume there was one originally in which to alert of the violation, but other than that, has there been any further communication? Okay. Does anyone else have any questions for Daryl based on the findings of the staff report?
Daryl, was that driveway obtained legally, permission?
Yes, I forget what year it was put in, but it was prior to our current regulations that say the driveway needs to be at least 3 feet off the property line. So the driveway is legal now.
Mhm. Other questions for Daryl?
What about the rear portion, Daryl, if the carport wasn't there, is the rear portion compliant and legal? Not all the way over, but to the rear of the direct rear of the house?
The direct rear of the house would be legal. They still need a permit, but it's, as far as setbacks, it's fine.
From the other side yard and the rear yard setback, right, Stephanie?
Yeah.
Yeah, this part right here, I don't know if it's, yeah, here, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
That extends to the property line.
Does it end at the far end of the house?
It extends past it a little bit based on the pictures.
Yeah, the perspective is a little tough, but I think it looked like it did.
But yeah, it goes the length of the house.
That's what the picture shows.
And the actual cover as well, so
Was this professionally constructed or a handyman?
the applicant can address that.
Okay. Before we get to the applicant, any other questions for Daryl?
Nope.
All right, just to get some of these questions answered, can I have you come up, sign in, please, and state your name for the record?
Hussein Zahran.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I dive in, what was your question about, who's basically doing the
Yeah,
work here?
what company did this work?
It's a roofer I know slash friends, and they are professionally, they do that professionally. It's not
Okay.
like
Did they inquire about pulling a permit or did they assume you had? Or-
they assume, honestly, I didn't assume that I needed a permit at first until the office from zoning stopped by on the date was stated. And that day, right when I knew I needed a permit, right away I went to zoning in Holland and I spoke to them. And I spoke with the gentleman, last name Galdus, I believe. And he told me, he gave me what I need to do as a permit wise. And he asked me to come here because I need a zoning permit before his permit to go with the file. And I told him everything, I took pictures, and he told me you have to apply for a variance. And I came and I spoke with her, and she told me what I need to do. And then that's how it all started. And at that moment, he said, when you get it, just keep going what you're doing, just leave everything for me open from the inside. That way, when I send my inspectors, they can look at it and they see the attachment to the house, they see how everything has been done. Like a couple of weeks ago, or a little bit further, an inspector, the officer from the zoning went there and he told me that was a stop order on the that was issued on the 2nd. And I think he came like around the 12th or 11th. I'm not exactly sure what day. And at that moment, I didn't know I have a stop order. And then when he came, he called back the zoning and he told them he didn't receive the stop order or he's not aware. The inspector came out, his name is Joe, and he told me there's a stop order. And since then, and after a while, I received the letter and it was dated August 2nd, but in the mail, it says August 24th. So it shows when it was processed. So that's why the period, I didn't ignore the stop order, man, I kept working. That just kind of what happened in that period. And I couldn't anyways finish everything because I'm not allowed to, so. I brought some pictures if you allow me.
Yeah, if you could bring those up, please. We'll just start at the far end here.
Okay.
Move them on across.
Basically, everything that I was allowed to do without the soffit, the final stuff from the inside, the sides, and it shows how back I sit from the front of the driveway just to the side, and it shows, I brought my neighbor with me, he's the one who wrote a letter to you guys as well that I submitted with the application. I'm set way behind his side of the house, so I'm not blocking any of his view, any of his windows. And before I started, I asked him that I'm gonna do this, and I didn't think that, I wish I knew, just that way I avoided the stress for the past 2 months and just, I would have been compliance. And in the past, we had an outdoor kitchen that we started remodeling, and then it started the project with a canopy up on top of our outdoor kitchen. And then while we're working on it, he said, you know what, let's do a carport. And yes, on the paperwork, I don't have a hardship or, but I didn't know what to fill in that application, honestly. I just wrote what I know best, basically. And like you see, all the ceiling is still open. That way the inspectors from Lucas County, they can come and check all the studs, and yes, it was engineered by engineer Renault. The place they sell wood on, now it's on top of it. Carter, yes, thank you, sir. Usually when you're building my buddy works over there. When you're building something, they build it up to a code and he's got 13 feet, so I'm going to see within 6 feet. That's our structure of, with the studs I needed and everything. And even when the inspector from the Lucas County, he came and he saw everything is done to work and to code, just a matter of you getting our zoning permit. That way we can issue a work permit and hopefully we can approve, everything. That's my neighbor, that's Mr. Fatur, he's right there. He's the one that sits on the left parcel of my house.
Thank you.
On the side where
Yes, on the side. And, I've been in Sylvania all my life. I've been a business owner in Sylvania all my life. And we just opened another car dealer here. Toledo Auto Group, we've been there for almost 3 years. Greatly Express on Monroe Street, I've been there for 12 years. And this resident, I've been there since 2011. I got this house on a land contract, and finally, when I paid it off in 18, I started doing improvement in it. And from changing windows, remodeling it, and this was my last kind of project, and I'm planning to stay there, honestly, for, and now after all this, I have almost like 50,000 wrapped up between credit cards and my project saved up for this, and honestly, I wish I knew I needed all that before. I would have, eliminated from the get, not do the footers, not do that. My naive, I thought the fence is on the edge. I'm not doing an addition, I'm just doing a carport, even if it's attached or not. That's how I thought about it, Instead of buying several things from Costco and put them next to each other, I thought, let's build something professionally. And that's where my started, and, it just got bigger, and I extended the variance what I was allowed to. And I didn't know about the variance till Mr. Ballas, he told me to come and ask all that. And I don't know if anything I can answer or.
Let's see. Does anyone have any questions for the applicant at this time? I'm just going to quickly read the letter just to make sure. Anyone else here have any questions for the applicant? You take a seat.
Yeah, of course.
Any questions for Daryl, or does anyone else want to speak on this matter who has not had the opportunity to yet?
It's fine.
Your comments are kind of in the letter, I'm guessing?
No, well, actually, it's not bothering me at all.
Mhm.
You know, it's beautiful scene and never had any problem with him. I've been in the neighborhood.
Oh,
He needs sworn.
because, yeah, did you raise your hand for the earlier part? All right, do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge? I can also have you sign in, please. All right, just state your name for the record, please.
My name is Mohammed Sarsour.
Thank you. All right, now you can continue.
Yeah, I've been his neighbor for a long time, and I've been living in that neighborhood since 1993.
Okay.
And I had business in Sylvania Township for 40 years.
Mhm.
So I'm not objecting to anything, you know, it's fine with me. So I don't know what could. That's it. Anything else?
Any questions? No. Appreciate your comments. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks, Jess.
Any other questions for anybody?
Daryl, so on that side, this is a question Stephanie asked, where this is gutted out.
Tim, do you have this?
It's on this here.
Oh, man, so it's 13? No, that's not 13.
So it goes over.
This is 13 feet, this is what?
So
11,
Seven's the
10
requirement.
feet?
Almost 9.5.
All right, so it's 7's the requirement? I'm talking about 7 right
Yeah,
here.
we're on the right-hand side.
That's what I wanted to know. That side's all right.
And kind of just show you this. That way it stays whatever, I'm sorry. This is
down
the
here?
stop order that I got. I don't want it to seem like I was ignoring the court order or anything. It was dated August 3rd, but here, yes, it was dated on the 2nd. So I just,
All right, appreciate it. Any other questions? Would anybody like deliberative session?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. We're going to quickly exit deliberative session here at 5:20. We'll be right back. Okay, so Mike's back on, we're still on the record. All right, we are coming back from deliberative session at 5:30. Would anyone like to make a motion regarding this piece of new business?
I will make a motion to approve a variance request for a side yard setback from 7 feet required to 1 foot provided for the property located at 6800 Shieldwood Road, parcel number 79-01581, Sylvania Township zoning resolution, section 700-A.
Second. Second, Maria, if I can have you call the roll, please?
Mr. Schweikert?
No.
Miller?
No.
Mr. Levine?
No.
Mr. Huff?
No.
Ms. Wood?
No.
So your variance request has been denied. You'll get something in the mail from us in the next 30 days. I see there's nothing else on the agenda for new business, so I would like to make a motion to adjourn. Do we have a
Make a
second?
motion. Yeah, second.
Yuri is second, and can I have you call the roll, please?
Mr. Schweikert?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Levine?
Yes,
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
we are adjourned at 5:31.